So after I made my last video saying I'm gonna drop names, it seems like I've ruffled a few feathers. So now's the time to drop names. Rolanda Brumfield and Taylor Brumfield. I was married to Taylor Brumfield. I was with her for 10 years. She is a very abusive person. And all she does is manipulate. And she learns to manipulate from her mother, Rolanda Brumfield. And I haven't much interactions with her father, but based on my interactions with Taylor Brumfield and what she's done to me is very similar to what her mom did to her dad, right? Apparently the dad is narcissist too, but they were together for like 20 some odd years. So I'm starting to think the mom is was the crazy one, that the dad was the one being abused, and he tried his best and it just didn't work out. The reason why I say that is because the mom cheated first, but the dad decided to stay in the relationships for the kids. And I've always said, this is the line in the sand, don't cross it, right? And we're not gonna go there. So after everything happened and I separated, I started thinking clearly. That explains why she was recording me when she was offering me drinks and coming back to, getting me upset. That explains why she would go away and come back and get me as upset as possible and then record me. That explains why she would start cursing out the wazoo, knowing that I don't like people cursing at me. That explains it. That explains why she would be doing XYZ, and recording me. So she can send it off to her, I'm inferring here, to her law enforcement buddies or private security buddies, likely private security, so they can, put me on this list. Now, according to Targeted Justice, this is what people do. They find people to put on the list so that they can do, experiments on them for money, which is, RICO and human trafficking. According to Targeted Justice, I haven't seen the evidence for that yet. But it's getting there, because first they start you with the gang stalking, right? The surveillance, constant surveillance, and then they move on to with the frequency weapons, active denial systems and active denial technology, microwave technology, and they start hitting you with those ultra low frequency waves. That's the stage I'm at right now, getting hit with those ultra low frequency waves, which causes a bunch of auditory interactions and things, right? But going back to Rolanda Brumfield and Taylor Brumfield, I have a child with Taylor Brumfield. Now what's happened is I got custody of that child, primary custody, after I separated on my part and figured out, oh my God, I've been getting abused and manipulated and all that. Now, as far as abuse goes, it's everything, man. I'm talking about I've been drugged, I've been raped by this woman while I'm sleeping, right after I got drugged, because I got yelled at really badly for making my own dinner plate incorrectly, according to her. I didn't make it right? So I got yelled at, so I was like, okay, great, I'll just have her make my dinner plate from now on. So that's what happened. She wanted to make my dinner plate, and it got drugged. I got drugged on multiple occasions. I would wake up, and it was like that date rape drug, where you barely remember what's happening, but you do have the memory, and it's like a blurry memory. And I didn't realize, I thought that was just a nightmare for the longest time, until I started talking to my therapist and realized that was not a nightmare. I was being raped by my own spouse, right? And I found out, all these other things that just raised the bar as to the level of psychotic that they really, people that they really are. So, my name is The Nerve Brutus. I'm putting this out there for the world to know about me, that this was my experience. And this is not my experience because I know all this about these people and they didn't want me talking about it. And heck, I didn't want to talk about it either. I just wanted to be left alone. But this is what these people do. The reason why I know Rolanda Brumfield is the one that put me on the list, along with Taylor Brumfield, is because towards the end of the relationship, Taylor Brumfield started dating a lot of physical security people. Started having a lot of relations, let's just say, with physical security people. A lot of law enforcement started coming around more. And I noticed these things, but I didn't say anything. I was just like, whatever. So that's what happened with that. So during the custody hearings, I noticed I was being surveyed. I figured, okay, they're just private contractors hired by her mom or someone that she knows to keep an eye on me, to make sure that I am not doing anything nefarious to endanger her, because these are really hard times. Not hard times. These are really times when the woman would be most in danger, is during a separation and custody hearings, right? I know all this. I've had the domestic violence trainings in my career in the Navy, which oddly enough has been changed to Army thanks to the VA. So when I say Navy and someone looks it up, it says Army, I look like the crazy one. So anyway, that is what's going on with that, right? Yeah, I know the domestic violence training. I've had all that. So during the marriage, when she would get riled up and try to, literally throw things at me, she would throw things at me, yell, scream, blah, 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 and I would choose to walk away. When I walk away, I go outside, she'd come outside, scream even more, why don't you stay? You're a coward for walking away, blah, 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 blah. I know all these de-escalation techniques, so I would use them to de-escalate all the situation. Unfortunately, my daughter would be, she would see this. She would. And she would have negative reactions to it all. So I'd take the time to stop and say, hey, are you okay? What you just witnessed is not normal. Mommy and daddy, you're not supposed to be fighting like this. We're supposed to be talking like adults, blah, 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 blah. Me being the reasonable person is how I got primary custody in the first place. So now I can only infer that she doesn't like that. Or they, whoever, they do not like that. The fact that I have primary custody, right? So now they're just setting it up and for me to look like a crazy person and putting me on the list, on the terrorist watch list or whatever list, and smearing me online and doing everything they can to try to destroy me. And I'm saying they because that includes the group, whoever's involved, law enforcement. It includes the mom. It includes the daughter. Whoever, everybody who's involved. I could keep naming names, right? But those are the main two people that you need to know about. After I got custody of my daughter, actually either the first or second day, I was inside, drinking my tea. I ordered pizza, and for some reason, in a very prominent place, Dunloring Station, the point at Dunloring Station, the pizza person did not know how to get in. Like, they were like, oh no, I'm new, I don't know where it is, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, okay. I go downstairs with my daughter. I went back upstairs. I finished drinking my tea. Next thing I know, I'm waking up. Like 2 hours have passed. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I thought I was just tired because there was a lot going on. So that's fine. I went to bed early. That night, I had a quote unquote nightmare. Right? Another one of those dreams where you're like hazy. It was hazy, but it was real. Where Rolanda Brumfield and two men wearing all black, right, similar to all of everything that we've seen, wearing all black, was standing there. She was in the middle. She was next to my closet, right, and my bed was on the left side. And look at them. They do not like that I'm spilling this. They don't like it at all. Look at all this intimidation, and I'm gonna continue going, buddy. Rolanda Brumfield was standing in the middle of the two men in all black, right? They had, I believe, black t-shirts on and black pants. I can't remember their shoes. So she walked over and looked at me and said, "Stay away from my daughter." Right? And this was after I sent her daughter an email saying, "Don't you think I have people watching you too?" Right? Because I knew that her mom or her had people watching me. You know, because likely, like I said, private security, private investigators doing private investigations on someone who's who's getting divorced. They're trying to find dirt. I didn't have any dirt, right? I didn't have any dirt on me, and that's why this is all still going on. Like, I don't have any dirt. So she was there. Or actually, I did do one thing. I went to a sex party because I thought it would, help strengthen the relationship. That because the daughter was into BDSM and wanted me to join. So after separation, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. I went to a sex party and I tried it. I enjoyed the first part, which was, getting to know people with the games and all that. And the second part, like, I literally couldn't even get it up because yeah. Anyway, Rolando Brumfield was there with two men in black. I don't know if they were Caucasian or not. If I had to guess, I'd have to take a wild guess. I'm not gonna take a wild guess, but I would have to say, yeah, there were two black men there. Two men, not black. I'm sorry, two men in black there. Oof, man, they were going at it. Look at this. Look at this. Like, they were going at it. They don't want me spilling any of this tea. So two men in black. They were there. She came over, turned my head to the right or left. Let's see. I can't remember where I was facing. But anyway, she turned my head towards the closet, away from the window. And she said, "Stay away from my daughter." And then I'm going to, and then boom, everything blinked from there. Next thing I remember, she walked back, the two men in black, dressed in black, walked forward. And that's all I remember. And the next thing I know, when I wake up in the morning, my elbow hurt like hell. Like, I don't know what the hell they were doing, but my elbow hurt like hell. And for subsequently, the next couple weeks, I'd wake up and I would have pain in like different joints in my body. I'd wake up and I would have my ankles are swollen for like weeks, and they hurt like hell. So that is the crux of things. And the next thing that lets me know that Rolando Brumfield really was there is I was recounting this to my therapist, and while I'm doing that, my phone connection dropped. I was on Zoom. Everything just dropped. My phone just went berserk. The connection dropped. The Zoom app closed, and it did that twice. And it only did that after I started talking about Rolando Brumfield in this quote unquote memory that I had, or nightmare that I had. So then I know, all right, boom, Rolando Brumfield and Taylor Brumfield are part of this. Whether or not they're saying I'm some crazy person and she's under federal protection, which is likely what they've done. They put her under federal protection to label me as a violent extremist person in order to have reasons to do all this, right? Which would make sense because as part of targeted violence and terrorist prevention, it would make perfect sense if you were like, hey, this guy has abused his wife, and now that they're, anyway, I'm going down the path of inferring, and I'm gonna stop inferring. I just told you a bunch of facts about why I am currently on this list, and now you know who I am, and now you know who I was involved with as to why this has happened. So if they want to sue me for libel and defamation, bring it. I will gladly go to court and defend these allegations. So let's go.